are proud of you and your team this year, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Once again, we were up here this time last year. We had a second place. We ended up finishing third. We led the whole tournament just about the whole for 2 days straight. And I know it's a curse to have so many in the finals. When you look in there, you see 5 in the finals, and then you got 1 going for 6th place down there. You only take 10. You know, you would think that, hey, with 5 in the finals, we got a good shot at it. But it's not that in the finals. Once you get to the finals, you've already scored those 12, 13 points. And, you know, we saw a team, you know, constantly, they gradually caught up with us, catching up with us. And we just didn't have enough people down in the constellation. So you say, Coach, so that means you want more going for 3rd and 4th? In a way, yes, you do. But you do want those guys to win those state championships. You want those state championships also. Individual state championship. So we had 5 in the finals. Macador had only 2 in the finals. We're leading, I guess we're going into the final. We're going into the last day of 21 points, basically, in 1st place. But once again, Macador had around, I think Macador had 5 going for the 3rd and 4th, and then they had 2 more going for 5th and 6th. So they gained points on us in that they overtook us there, and we took 2nd place by a point. They beat us by a point. But other than, you know, and in saying all that, we had a great season. For the past 2 years, this team that came in did everything we asked them to do. They gave, you know, at the beginning of this season, yeah, we had a rocky start, but I think we had to get back refocused. But they did what we asked them to do at the end of the season. We took 10 to state, where some teams out of, there were 39 teams in 6A. Out of 39 teams, Ravinder Russell High School came in 3rd, which led that tournament, just like the whole tournament, and put 5 in there. So we continue to improve. Last year we finished 2nd, and guess what? We only had 2 in the final last year. But we had, 3 or 4 going for 2nd, I mean going for 3rd, and then we had a couple going for 5 and 6, so that's what we gained our points. Next year we can get it balanced, hopefully we'll balance it all, and we only lose 2 starters, 2 seniors out of the starting lineup. That started with us throughout the whole year. We have all the juniors coming back. We have some sophomores that did a great job for us. We even had some, you know, a couple freshmen and a couple 8th graders on the team that did an outstanding job once we got in there and they learned the pace of varsity wrestling. So we have a great future ahead of us for Benjamin Russell Western for the next 3 or 4 years. So that's something that we can look forward to. I would like for the team to come up now, if you don't mind, come stand up with me and do the introduction. We have dual athletes, so we have some that's playing soccer now, we have some playing golf, we got some with the soccer, golf, what else going on now? Baseball. So we have a little bit of everybody. One of my assistant coaches is here, Coach Ben Blake is one of our assistant coaches. We're going to start down on this side. I'm going to have them to introduce themselves, and then I'll talk a little bit about a couple of them real quick. Let's start with Andy here.
My name is Ryan Green. I'm a high school senior and I play football and also wrestling.
Negative. I play football at high school.
My name is Coach Boston. I wrestled for my first year as a sophomore this year, and I play soccer as well.
I'm Sean Henry. I'm a junior and I'm just a wrestler. Ryan Spread, senior.
All right, Ryan Green, you know, I'm going to say something about our 2 seniors. Because hopefully next year we're going to be right back here and we talk about everybody else next year. Ryan Green he wrestled freshman year. He took a couple of years off, came back, and he stepped in a weight class that we didn't have someone in at. And once he stepped in there, he had not the best of the season. We thought that he was maybe a couple points away from qualifying to go to state for us. He filled in. He wasn't the starting 220. I know 195. He wasn't starting 195 going into sectionals. 195 starting 195 tore muscle in his neck. So he stepped in and he had an opportunity to try to wrestle to go to state, and he missed by a couple of points. But Ryan came in and gave us some help in some positions that we needed. The other senior I want to talk about is, if you guys look at our schedule, if you didn't look at it, hopefully next year we can get everybody's schedule. We beefed our schedule up this. You guys come up. Dion and Nick Thompson, Dion Maxwell and Nick Thompson and 2 of our other volunteer coaches who came in and did a great job for us. They came in and assisted us with some things. As you guys know, last year this time I was able some younger people in there wrestling. I can still do it, but I don't want to give Ryan and some of these others that's going to take me the full distance. So, Ryan Spratley, if you notice our schedule have, each one of them gets over 80-something matches in a year. In the 3 to 4, you're right, that is a lot. If you look at some of our opponents and some of the teams that we wrestle against, they're only going to get that 40 to 50 matches in. We went anywhere from the Georgia to the Tennessee to the Kentucky the rest of this year. We wrestled everywhere. We're down to wrestle teams from Florida, Louisiana. And that's the schedule that we're going to continue to have throughout this year. Myself and the head football coach, Coach Smith, were talking about it. He said, well, how did you compare those guys? And I just simply told him, you got to put them with the best competition. And therefore, when you come to the state time and they have those, Ryan had over 60 wins this year. Over 60 wins. How many losses? Yeah, only 10 losses. So, he had over 60-something wins. And that for a wrestler, and in this time, it wears on his body, it wears on his mind, it wears on everything. But to endure that, our wrestlers go through a lot now. But if you look at the teams that are winning state championships now, that's what they're doing. They're wrestling year-round and they're wrestling in tough competition. And that's what we hope to bring to Benjamin Russell. We bring that competitive schedule to them, and not only that. But Ryan is a senior. Ryan, first two times to the podium, he finished 5th for the past 2 years. He set a goal in himself, and Ryan is the most, and I would tell you, the hardest working person that we have in that restroom. And I would say that in front of anybody in here, in front of our wrestlers in there. He comes in there ready to go. This year, I saw that. He came in there every time he hit the mat at practice, and it paid off. Ryan is our only state champion this year. Ryan at 160 is our state champion. The one state champion that we do have. We had 4 second place, which neither one of those, everybody at work or at practice something. So we had 4 second place, and we had 1 5th place. And then we had the 1 state champion. But Ryan came in this year. He had a goal at the beginning of the year. He wanted a team state championship as a senior. He came up short. But he did the individual state championship. And the only thing I asked him is I asked the 2 seniors, did they have anything to say to to everyone they were leaving behind. The first thing he told them, say, win it next year. He knows that we have a talent. Probably should have did this year, but next year we'll be right back there, and hopefully we'll be right back up here telling you that. So once again, Ryan has done a great job. I hope to see he's one that has the ability and can wrestle on the next level. If that's going to be up to him. And hopefully that we're trying to get him there if that's what he wants to do. But this is the team. This is only not even half the team, not even a quarter of the team. But this is the team that goes in every day. They put the hard work in. And it's hard to be a wrestler, period. It is hard. That's why everyone is not up there doing it. And I'll tell anyone, we can go out there and play football all we want. But you know what? In between those plays, I'm getting a break. But when you're on that mat, you're going 6 period. Like 6 period, full speed ahead, no stop. So that's kind of hard. You got to be in shape and you got to be ready to do it. It's not only a physical thing, but it's a mental thing. And that's the key part. It's a mental thing that you have to win over yourself with, to be honest with you. So once again, we'd like to thank you for your support, because we couldn't have been able to be where we were, and the kids wouldn't have been able to stay in the hotels when we go to the tournaments out of state, and feed them when we were able to feed them, when they were able to eat. We wouldn't have been able to do all that stuff if it weren't for the community. We have a great community support. The donations we were given, we went to so many people, actually some of our local stores for donations. People gave with no problem. So we have a great community, and I thank you guys for what you do, and I ask that you continue to support us, and we'll continue to bring back this stuff to Elk City.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I forgot about it too. What about you, Mom? That's several. Let's take care of it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll have reports from our standing committees, and there's no special tonight. No report from our special committees, and there's no unfinished business. In the new business, first item tonight It's a resolution, the city of Alexander City opposing any action by the Alabama legislature that would restrict or remove municipal police or planning jurisdictions. There's a bill now, well, let's say now, I guess they start tomorrow, but there's a bill already been filed that's trying to limit or exclude municipalities like Alexander City from having any control over the police jurisdiction. Some of you may not know what that is. You know, Alexander City, all cities have corporate limits. It's called our city limits. And then there's an extended, I don't know, it's not a defined length like a mile or 2 miles or whatever. I guess it varies. But we do have police jurisdiction outside. For example, Camp Asca, right, Jay? We provide police and fire protection and 911 service to Camp Asca. It's not the Alexander City city limits, but it's in our police jurisdiction. Kellyton is an example that I think they actually incorporated Kellyton when they did the industrial park, right? But when they have emergencies, we go help. It's not like, and we don't get anything for those services, those businesses, since they're excluded. But it's sort of a gentleman's agreement, the way Jay explained it. So there's a lot of services provided in this police jurisdiction. But what they wanted to do was to not restrict the cities in this bill from receiving any benefit from business licenses and sales tax and those things. Well, just so you know, I got Ward Sellers to give me some numbers from last year, 2018. We collected $308,941 in business license fees and sales tax. Even though that may not be enough money to cover all the services we provide for our police jurisdiction outside the city limits, but it may. But it's a big chunk of money that we don't need to forego. So we're going to look at a resolution to oppose any action that's going to take that away from us. That's what we're doing. So the bill, again, is to eliminate cities having that ability to collect business license fees and sales tax from police jurisdiction areas. Everybody understand that? Did I explain that bad enough or good enough? Everybody understand it? Item number 2 is a resolution to authorize the mayor to execute a radio communication tower and building agreement with the Tallapoosa County 911 Board. I know we all read that. I'm going to ask Al to come up and start the conversation, and I think we'll ask Anita Haggerty with 911 Board to speak also.
We're very fortunate here in Elk City to have the E911 Board to work with us to make sure our communications for our police and fire and others are where they need to be and doing what they're supposed to do. There is a need now to put a new tower up at the water tank on Mount Airy and to put a building there to house the equipment that we will greatly benefit from. And Anita, if you would like to give them a little more detail.
Hey there.
The equipment is presently on the water tank. And this is okay, but it would be better if there was a tower that's a little bit taller than that, because it's about 100 foot, and we're requesting a 190-foot tower. This filing has been sent to the FAA, and we have to have their approval, of course. So we're waiting that. The first preliminaries, they came back and said, FAA said, we need a 2C survey. That 2C survey gives them the lat long where this tower will be and the altitude of exactly, because we have the airport to be in consideration. So we're waiting. It may take several weeks, a few months. We're not sure. They were, furloughed and when the government shut down, so they're kind of behind, and they have indicated that. So that's what we're waiting on. This would be like the cost of this tower would be approximately $290,000. And like Al said, this is to have those dead spots in Alexander City where the police department and the fire department has coverage area problems. So we have provided digital radios for Alexander City and for the majority of the departments in Tallapoosa County. We've got to build out the system for the digital before we can add everybody else on. So that's part of all this that's got to happen. Now, if we turn down, we'll just have to try to, look somewhere else.
A different location.
Right.
Yeah. So I know we're not paying for that tower to be built. Who's paying for that?
Tallapoosa County 911 Board, which is the money provided by the people of Tallapoosa County on your phone bill.
Huh.
So
Right.
the board saves their money and they use it very wisely, and this is a
Even on your cell phone bill?
even cell phone
Okay.
bill. You know, landlines are kind of going away.
Right, yeah. That makes me appreciate those charges, extra charges a little more than I
That's
do.
right, but we appreciate them too.
No one likes those extra charges on their phone bill. Okay. Any questions for Anita? Thank you. Hope we get approval.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 3 is a resolution to award bid 19-04 for the vertical turbine high-service pump replacement project to Mora Water Technologies of Birmingham, Alabama, for an amount not to exceed $54,900. I'll ask Miles to come up and maybe give us a background on this project and I guess the need for a replacement project on the turbine high-service pump.
We had some, in addition to the Adams plant improvement project, we had some ongoing issues at the plant, and one of the things that came up was this turbine pump. And when we looked at it, wasn't installed properly the first time, so we had a lot of damage to it, and we didn't know the extent of that damage until it was pulled. Now we found out after it was pulled that it looked pretty bad, so we had to send it off to get it repaired, and this is part of the repair and reinstallation of that turbine pump.
Okay. And I thought we only had one bid. Is that because that was the company that made it, or?
Well, Morrow was the one that initially pulled the pump.
Yeah.
And Morrow is pretty much the only company in the state of Alabama that's really equipped to do this type of work. So anybody else that would have been interested in the installation would have had to send it to them to do the rebuild anyway. So we kind of expected they'd be one of the few companies that would be equipped to do the project.
It's a reasonable fee, Miles.
It's exactly what
Yeah, we're planning for.
we planned.
Any questions for Miles? Thank you, Miles. Item number 4 on our agenda is a request to approve the annual Strand Sessions events. I see Jacob's here, so Jacob, you want to come up and give us we know, we appreciate Strand Sessions the last, 3 years? This will be the 4th year? Is that right? Or is this the 3rd year?
I believe this is the 3rd year.
Okay, in your note, it seemed like you said
Talking about that, I think it's
Yeah.
the 3rd year that we've done it.
Okay.
It's free live music downtown Strand Park, first Thursday of each month, April through August. So for 5 months, we'll hire a band to come out and play. Usually, try to target local artists, folks who have some recognition and support from around the area. It's been very well received from the community for the times that we've done it. It's usually a good crowd, diverse crowd, young, old, all sorts of different people come out and enjoy it. Again, I mentioned that it's free, so we believe that it adds to the entertainment offerings downtown. The businesses who are open at that time benefit from the crowds of people who gather. Usually those are food and beverage type vendors downtown. So it's something that we think is really good for the community, and you guys have generously supported us in the past, and hope that you'll do the same again this year. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Don't sell the group short, though. This would be for 16, 17, 18, so this would be.
This will be, okay.
Yeah. This is our fourth one.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah. I have trouble remembering sometimes. We
I
do so
noticed
many
on your
different
application, you said 16, 17, 18. So
if it's on the application, then I think I'm probably right.
It's right.
Got to refresh my memory. But I'm pleased to be joined by several members of my young professionals group here tonight. You guys see me a lot of times, but I'm just one of many who contributes to the group. And not only are we contributing with our young professionals group, but I think in a lot of meaningful ways around the community. Miss Emily McDaniel's a realtor with Russell Lands, Kevin Speaks with Valley Bank, Austin Tills, a teacher at Benjamin Russell High School, also our soccer coach, and John Hall with Russell Medical. So just a few of our members, and we hope to make a more consistent presence at these meetings just to understand what's going on in the community and take that back to our group and our circles.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for attending, young professionals. We'll have comments from the mayor, comments from the finance director, city clerk, and the council. Please stand as we begin our regular meeting of the Alexander City Council on March the 4th. I'd like to ask Pastor Michael Waldrop to please come forward and we'll say our opening prayer, and then Deputy Chief Easterwood lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray together. Father, we just want to take a moment tonight to remember those that were affected by the tornadoes. God, you know the families that are grieving tonight, friends that are grieving tonight. God, you know that those that are still, we're not even sure if everyone's been found. But you know, God, we just ask for your help, your strength, your blessing upon all those that were first responders, those that are still working hard in this event. And God, we just pray for them that you would touch and bring comfort and strength, Lord, in this time of their great need. And Lord, tonight we ask, God, in this meeting that you would grant wisdom, God, to each one of these that are making decisions tonight, God, as they, Lord, lead our community. God, we pray for them that you would grant them just your wisdom and your blessing be upon them, and just everything in our city. Just ask your continued help and leading, Lord, all the events and all the things that take place here. And we ask, God, just for your help, your strength, and your wisdom. In the powerful name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to approve our minutes of the February 18th, 2019 regular council meeting. Amanda sent those to us last week. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the minutes for February the 18th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? A roll call vote from Mr. Tapley.
Yay.
Ms. Colvin.
Yay.
Mr. Hardy.
Yay.
Mr. Brown.
Yay.
Yay for me.
Yay for me.
Need to approve our agenda tonight. There's no changes to our agenda. We've already reviewed it. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion we approve the agenda as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Mr. Tapley.
Yay.
Ms. Colvin.
Yay.
Mr. Hardy.
Yay.
Mr. Brown.
Yay.
Yay for me.
Yay for me.
No public hearing tonight. Reports from standing committees. One thing I did want to just announce tonight, and it'll be in the paper, I think, Friday and then the following Friday, but for sure it's going to be on Facebook and it's on the website today. But we have an opening for our, one of the responsibilities of the Alexander City Council is to appoint Board of Education members annually. There's one member that rolls off each year. From to serve 5-year terms. We have 5 members on the Board of Education, and they serve 5-year terms. This year, David Sturdivant, his term is ending, and David, he called me a couple of weeks ago, and David has served 2 terms, so he served 10 years. So David has decided that it's time for someone else to step forward, and he's not going to try to reapply. So we're looking for good candidates to apply for the Board of Education. So you'll be able to apply. Go to our website, talk with Amanda, but we've got the link there that'll give you the document. It's just a simple one-pager that you fill out. We certainly are looking for encouraging good candidates. It's an important position in our city. We got some, our education system is vital to our economy and to our city. So please consider that. The young professionals, you're here. We're glad you're here. We want young people involved in all of our key areas in our city. So please consider that. Other thing I wanted to mention was, I mentioned last time, we are still moving forward with our establishment of our tourism association, Lake Martin Area Tourism Association. And the board had a meeting. I think I told you we were meeting on Wednesday after our last council meeting. And that meeting went very well, and we're moving forward. We did pass the bylaws at that meeting, and we have defined now a job description with salary ranges and those kind of things, and they're going to be publicizing that job soon, trying to find somebody that would fit the experience that we need to initiate that program, hire an executive director of tourism for our Lake Martin area. So be looking for that. I think you'll see that soon. That's all I had. Public Safety Committee, Chairman Tapley.
No report.
Utilities Committee, Mr. Funderburg.
No report.
Parks and Rec, Mr. Hardy.
No report.
Public Works, Mr. Brown.
No report.
And Buildings and Properties, Ms. Collins.
No report.
There are no reports from special committees tonight. There's no unfinished business. New business item number 1.
This is resolution 1951, a resolution of the City of Alexander City opposing any action by the Alabama legislature that would restrict or remove municipal, police, or planning jurisdictions.
Do I have a motion to approve? Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this one? Roll call vote, Mr. Tapley.
Yay.
Ms. Cobbin.
Yay.
Mr. Hardy.
Yay.
Mr. Brown.
Yay.
Yay for me.
Yay for me.
New business item number 2.
Resolution 1952, a resolution to authorize the mayor to execute a radio communication tower and building agreement with the Tallapoosa County 911 Board.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mr. Tapley.
Yay.
Ms. Cobbin.
Yay.
Mr. Hardy.
Yay.
Mr. Brown.
Yay.
Yay for me. Yay for me. New business item number 3.
Resolution 1953, a resolution to award bid 1904 for the vertical turbine high service pump replacement project to Moreau Water Technologies of Birmingham, Alabama for an amount not to exceed $54,900 even.
And this is in our budget.
It is included in the budget.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion we approve the purchase of pump replacement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Make sure it's installed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Miles. Whoever installed it wrong last time, take them off the list.
We're gonna demand a performance bonds and make sure
Yeah.
it's done right.
Roll call vote, Mr. Tapley.
Yay.
Ms. Cobbin.
Yay.
Mr. Hardy.
Yay.
Mr. Brown.
Yay.
Yay for me.
Yay for me.
New business item number 4.
A request to approve the annual Strand Sessions events.
And to bypass the special event fee.
The fee, and he's also provided, Jacob provided the insurance today. And Jay is good with everything.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion we approve the application for the Strand Sessions and waive the fee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Because of my affiliation with the group, I will not be voting, but no, there's no but.
Thank y'all for an awesome job. I do appreciate Strand Sessions. Thank y'all.
One thing I noticed, Jacob, I saw your application for the liability insurance. I did $689 is what YP's got to pay for the liability insurance, right?
That's one expense of the event. In the past, we had paid for security as well. Because of the, I guess, nature of the events, it's no longer required. Advertising and renting porta potties and other things. So it's not something we make money on, it's something we provide for communities for free. And, you know, it's something that we see as a value to the community, so we're happy to do that.
Good, thank you. We appreciate it. Roll call vote, Mr. Tapley.
Yay.
Ms. Cobbin.
Yay.
Mr. Hardy. He's not voting.
Abstain.
Mr. Brown.
Yay.
Yay for me.
Yay for me.
Comments from our mayor.
All events like this, we advertise it as being free, but it's not free. Is that a?
Free to the public, but not free to the people.
Oh, yeah, not to say free, yes.
It's
Free to
no-
attend.
it's no
Free
event.
to
Free to attend,
attend,
yeah.
free to the public, no admission, but it's
Costs
not
money
free.
to put it on.
Costs a lot of money to put
Yeah.
on anything these days.
But you don't have to pay to come.
You
There
don't
we
pay to come.
There you go.
Just walk on out there.
Like to compliment our employees, we continue to have great relationships with each other. We back everybody on the projects that they're working on. And it's fun to watch our city body be so complimentary of each other when it comes to getting started.
Comments from our finance director,
No comments.
city clerk.
I gave you all the Tallapoosa alert. If you would pass that out or talk to your people in the districts about that, with the situation that happened with Lee County, we'll need to get as many citizens alert about this and to sign up. And Mayor and I talked today, we're gonna try to get with WSFA to try to come here and do the weather alert day. I think I told some of you about that. So we'll be helping the county with pushing this out.
So the Tallapoosa Alert, really all we need to do, we need to make sure the residents know that it's available, and they just need to communicate with Jason Moran
Yes.
to sign up.
And that procedure, they can actually, that's the step-by-step process to sign up. And they can go through our website and stuff like that, so.
Can we get it put in the light bill, or the utility bill?
Well, that's one thing that the mayor and I talked about today. Added to that, getting involved with our local churches, even with the elderly people like Meals on Wheels, the nutritional program that delivers food. I know some of the other churches don't have, they do their own delivery of meals, so we can hand stuff out there, but we're gonna try to get it out to as many people as possible. Not only to our corporate limits, but outside our corporate limits.
You want to share about the problem with old folks like me?
No.
I knocked mine off, I never knew what it was about. Finally, when the wind started blowing, I said, that must have been the story.
Comments from the council? Mr. Tapley?
Thank everybody for coming out, and I'd like to echo what the mayor said about our city working together. A couple of Saturdays ago, I was out about 3 o'clock in the morning. We've been a wreck there on Jefferson Street. When I got there, I just happened to pass through. Police was already there. The vehicle was loaded up. They were there for security. Our light department was there cutting the pole in half so they could secure the line. And the first responder ambulances, they had already taken the patient. And everybody else was asleep, didn't know what was going on. I don't even think our power blinked. And it just shows what a great job our men and women do here for this city. If it hadn't been for the boom truck out there with the light post suspended, nobody would have known what happened. So I'd just like to thank y'all for what y'all do. Y'all do so much even when we're asleep we don't know about. Speaking of that, I was asked that there's a sidewalk where that car clipped that telephone pole, was damaged. The community would like to see that repaired, be taken care of so it is accessible for that side of town. Let's see, what else? And this, like the pastor mentioned, keep the people in prayer south of us. We keep having tragedies around us with severe weather. So those people need our prayers as well as our nation, our community. It's times like that when the community pulls together and shows what we're all about being Christians, is we pray for one another, we're there to help. So just continue to keep this community united by keeping Christ first and then each other second. Everything works out for the credit when you put the one who created us first. So that's all I got to say, and thank y'all.
Reese, why don't you say what you did last night?
Beauregard ETS, Lee County ETS covers that area. They called for our assistance, but we sent 2 in, total 9 people. We got down there, and they cut the search off pretty quick, so we didn't get to do a lot, but we did go down there and help.
Thank you, Reese. Ms. Cobbin?
First of all, echo everything else. Thank the city workers for everything you do. We appreciate it. I love lights, water, all that stuff. It's like very comfortable to know that I can go home and flip the switch and the heat come on. So I appreciate that. Especially at night, I'm cold. First responders, you know, I appreciate everything you all do. It's a hard job to have to take care of people in the worst times of their lives. I appreciate all you do. I ask that we all to continue to keep all of the people who are in bereavement in our prayers. We have so many families who have lost loved ones. The Russell family, which is my family, the Goggins family, the Knight family, the Margaret family. People are just dealing with a lot of things. So I ask you all to continue to pray for all of those that are in bereavement, and of course pray for all of those who had to go through weather emergency that have caused them to uproot their lives and change how they're living or what they've got to do the next day. I thank y'all for all y'all do, and I thank y'all for continuing to support us, this council, and our mayor. We do appreciate everything y'all say. We thank y'all tremendously for everything that y'all say or do. Thank y'all. Hope y'all have a great week.
Mr. Hardy?
Thank you again for everyone for attending tonight, and again, thank you to my fellow YP members. I think that it's very important for a group that is as visible as the young professionals are to not only let it be seen from a community aspect, but actually show doing the background work and what it takes to be leaders within the community. So appreciate everything you guys are doing, and hope everyone has a great rest of the week.
Mr. Brown?
thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, YP. Thank you all, the men and women that do keep everything going. That's one thing I tell everybody I enjoyed most about this opportunity is to learn what it takes to make this city work. It's pretty unbelievable until you really dig in. There's a lot of people who do a lot of things. So thank you to everybody who keeps all this going. That tax, I was looking to get a new dump truck, the guy was telling me the price. Now, you get delivered out the farm, sales tax a bit cheaper, I get looking at all the taxes, what's this 2%? Elliott City, somebody city limits, they said, oh, that's police protection. I said, okay. It's the first time I'd ever seen that tax, so it's funny we have this meeting. Thank y'all.
Yeah, everybody's repeating about thanks for attendance, but we do appreciate your attendance. And we don't have a real dynamic agenda tonight, but there's still important things we did cover tonight. Appreciate it. That's right.
Nothing wrong with this.
Nothing wrong with that, is there?
We got some coming.
Uh-oh. Might want to come back, huh? Thank YP and then thank our city employees and thank Ms. Haggerty for what you do with 911 and we hope that works out. We don't want any airplanes hitting that tower though. But one thing I didn't mention about the Board of Education opening, I think I just looked at my little note here. We're going to give 3 weeks of people to apply, so the next 3 weeks, and have to turn them in by March the 25th, and then the council will be interviewing those candidates during the month of April. And we'll make our decision, our first meeting in May, is when that'll be done. The term actually starts June the 1st for the new Board of Education person selected. Mr. Vanderberg?
Okay, thank you, Don. I think everybody's pretty well been thanked, glad everybody's here. A couple things haven't been mentioned. I know we talked a couple of years ago about the war zone out there. Like a lot of work's been done around the Russell Complex. And I don't know who's in charge of that or who's handling it, but if you're out through there, it's significantly better than it was a couple of years ago. As well as I know Russell Land's bought the new number 1 over there. That's looking really great too, especially from 280 point of view. The only other thing I have is, once again, the people at the Smith Station and south of there, Beauregard, remember them in our prayers.
Any other comments? Have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? A like sign. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great week. Thanks for your attendance.